News now. Nancy Pelosi has been elected as Speaker in the U.S. House of Representatives. That's the third most powerful role in Washington. But the partial U.S. government shutdown has shown no signs of ending as a standoff between President Donald Trump and the Democrats continues. Our reporter in Washington, Harry Horton, has more.
Well, lots of history being made in this new Democrat-led House of Representatives. For the first time in history, more than 100 women were elected to the House of Representatives. We've also seen for the first time a Muslim American woman seated in the House of Representatives. We're seeing the first Native American women, and we're also seeing the youngest woman ever elected to Congress at just 29 years old. One of the first things that this Democrat-led House did was to pass some funding bills that would see the US government reopen. Of course, the US government has been partially shut down for 2 weeks now. However, the White House has already said that President Donald Trump will veto those bills passed by the House of Representatives, so they are considered dead on arrival should they ever reach his desk. Much of this disagreement and this dispute over government funding, of course, centres around Donald Trump's controversial border wall that he wants to see built between the United States and Mexico. He says that any funding bill that reopens the US government must contain $5 billion to pay for his wall. Democrats say they're not going to give any money at all towards this border wall between the US and Mexico. So this standoff continues between the two parties. There are further meetings scheduled at the White House on Friday, where Donald Trump will meet with congressional leaders. But at the moment, it looks as though there's no way out of this stalemate. So here in the United States, we see sections of national parks closed. If you come to Washington and try and visit some of the museums, you won't be able to. They're closed as well to visitors. And of course, there are some 800,000 government workers who are being affected by this, some of them working at the moment without any pay. And because of the stalemate, it looks as though this government shutdown will continue for several more days, if not several more weeks as well.
Well, the Democrats wasted no time flexing their new power in the U.S. House of Representatives as they maneuvered, to pass legislation backed by the new Speaker that would end a 13-day partial government shutdown while ignoring President Donald Trump's demand for $5 billion for a border wall. Pelosi says the wall is immoral, ineffective and expensive, and the president can't hold federal employees at ransom due to an ineffective wall.
The president cannot hold public employees hostage because he wants to have a wall that is not effective in terms of its purpose, not cost effective in terms of what the opportunity cost it is of federal dollars to spend. And the president has said Mexico's going to pay for this. Come on, let's anchor ourselves into reality. Mexico is not going to pay for this wall.